It feels like every time you turn on the news, someone is whispering our word. Recession. It's a term that can send a shiver down anyone's spine, conjuring images of financial hardship and uncertainty. But what if I told you that with the right preparation, you can transform that fear into a sense of control? What if you could build a financial fortress so strong that it could withstand even the most turbulent economic storms? Today, we're not just talking about surviving a recession, we're talking about creating a plan to thrive through it. This is your personal survival guide for economic downturns, a blueprint for securing your financial well-being when the world feels like it's on shaky ground. Let's start with the most immediate concern for many people during a downturn: job security. The thought of layoffs and hiring freezes is genuinely stressful, but sitting back and worrying isn't a strategy. The first step is to make yourself indispensable at your current job. Think about what makes your role valuable to the company. Are there skills you can learn that would make you even more critical to your team's success? Now is the time to lean in, not pull back. Volunteer for challenging projects, especially those that have a direct impact on the company's bottom line or efficiency. When businesses look to trim costs, they are less likely to let go of the employees who are actively solving problems and driving results. Beyond just working hard, it's crucial to increase your visibility in a positive way. Communicate your wins and the progress of your projects to your manager. This isn't about bragging, it's about ensuring your contributions are recognized. At the same time, you should be quietly preparing a plan B, and even a plan C. Update your resume and your professional networking profiles. You don't have to be actively applying for jobs, but you want to be ready to move quickly if you need to. Connect with former colleagues, reach out to contacts in your industry, and have informational conversations. Building your network when you don't need a job is far more effective than scrambling to make connections when you're desperate. Think of it as tending to a garden. You nurture it over time so it's there when you need it. Consider developing a side hustle or freelance skill. This could be anything from graphic design and writing to consulting in your field of expertise. Having a separate stream of income, even a small one, can provide a massive psychological and financial cushion. It diversifies your income sources, making you less reliant on a single paycheck. Now, let's talk about the bedrock of financial security: liquid savings. During a recession, cash isn't just king, it's the entire royal court. Your emergency fund is your first and most important line of defense. Traditionally, financial advisors recommend having 3 to 6 months' worth of essential living expenses saved. During times of economic uncertainty, I'd strongly suggest aiming for the higher end of that range, or even more if you can manage it. This fund isn't for a vacation or a new gadget, it's for survival. It's the money that will cover your rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, and other non-negotiable bills if your income suddenly disappears. It buys you time to find a new job without having to make panicked financial decisions. Keep this emergency fund in a high-yield savings account. You want it to be liquid, meaning you can access it quickly and easily without penalties. It shouldn't be tied up in investments that could lose value or take days to sell. A high-yield savings account has the added benefit of earning you a little bit of interest, which helps your money keep pace with, or at least fight against, inflation. It won't make you rich, but it's better than having it sit in a standard checking account earning virtually nothing. Once your emergency fund is fully stocked, you can start thinking about building up other cash reserves. Having extra liquid savings beyond your emergency fund gives you something incredibly valuable: opportunity. When markets are down and fear is high, assets can become undervalued. Having cash on hand allows you to take advantage of these opportunities, whether it's investing in the stock market at a discount or other ventures. This is how wealth is often built during downturns. This brings us to our final and perhaps most complex topic: which assets historically perform well during recessions? It's important to remember that past performance is not a guarantee of future results, but history can provide us with some valuable clues. First, let's address the elephant in the room: the stock market. Recessions often coincide with bear markets, where stock prices fall significantly. It can be terrifying to watch the value of your portfolio shrink. However, for long-term investors, a recession can be a golden opportunity. Think of it as a major sale on high-quality companies. If you continue to invest consistently through a downturn, a practice known as dollar-cost averaging, you are buying more shares at lower prices. When the market eventually recovers, as it historically always has, those shares you bought on sale can lead to substantial gains. The key is to have the emotional fortitude to keep investing when everyone else is panicking and selling. It's also crucial to be invested in a diversified portfolio of strong, fundamentally sound companies, not just speculative fads. Beyond stocks, certain asset classes have a reputation for being recession-proof or at least recession-resistant. One of the most classic examples is consumer staples. These are the companies that produce goods and services people need regardless of the economic climate. Think about things like toothpaste, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, and basic food items. People may cut back on luxury cars and fancy dinners, but they will almost always continue to buy these essential products. As a result, the stocks of consumer staple companies tend to be more stable and may even continue to pay reliable dividends during a recession. They provide a defensive layer to a well-rounded investment portfolio. Another sector that often holds up well is healthcare. Much like consumer staples, healthcare is a non-discretionary expense. People get sick and need medical care, medicine, and health insurance, whether the economy is booming or busting. Companies in the pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and health insurance industries often have consistent demand for their products and services, which can translate into stable revenues and stock prices during a downturn. Utilities are another classic defensive sector. People need to keep the lights on, heat their homes, and have running water. These are essential services with steady, predictable demand, and the companies that provide them often operate as regulated monopolies, which adds another layer of stability. Now, let's talk about assets outside of the stock market. Bonds, particularly high-quality government bonds, are often seen as a safe haven during recessions. When investors get fearful, they often pull money out of stocks and put it into the perceived safety of government debt. This increased demand can drive bond prices up. Furthermore, central banks often lower interest rates during a recession to stimulate the economy, which also tends to increase the value of existing bonds with higher yields. A portion of your portfolio in high-quality bonds can act as a shock absorber when stocks are falling. Finally, while it can be volatile, some investors turn to precious metals like gold as a store of value during times of economic uncertainty and high inflation. Gold often has an inverse relationship with the stock market and the US dollar, meaning it can perform well when other assets are struggling. However, gold doesn't produce any income or dividends, and its price can be driven by sentiment as much as fundamentals. It should be considered a small, strategic part of a diversified portfolio, not a primary investment. Preparing for a recession isn't about predicting the future, it's about building a financial life that is resilient enough to handle whatever the future throws at you. It's about focusing on what you can control: your skills, your spending, your savings, and your investment strategy. By making yourself indispensable at work, building a robust emergency fund, and maintaining a diversified, long-term investment perspective, you can navigate an economic downturn with confidence. You can turn a period of widespread fear into a time of personal opportunity and growth. The steps we've discussed today will not only help you weather a recession but will also set you on a path to greater financial strength and freedom for the rest of your life. If you found this guide helpful and want to learn more about building wealth and achieving financial independence, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Financial Cake. We're building a community of smart, informed individuals who are taking control of their financial futures.